What's up, everybody, and welcome to the MNSpiritCast.
Could you tell us your name?
Automatically tells that you were for the
little card that we sent. That's just like a little pivot. That's like a little bit.
It's like changing their heart because we have it.
I'm not thinking whatever it is.
was in this area and walked in.
Guys, what was the image to that song?
And then afterwards is when we do like a small investigation.
All games were played by having a young woman walk up a flight of stairs backwards holding a can.
Well, hello, everyone.
How's it going?
Not bad. It's good to be back on the air with everybody. Hello, everybody. We are the Minnesota Spirit Hunters, and this is the Season 3 premiere of MNSpiritCast. It's been a long time since we've been on air, at least a month. So if you are new to our channel and everything, we'll introduce who we are, and then we're going to get straight into the questions that we have for our guests tonight. So I'm Marcus. I am the founder of Minnesota Spirit Hunters and the host of MNSpiritCast.
I am Brandon. I am the tech manager of Minnesota Spirit Hunters, and I am the co-host.
Me. I'm Cara. I'm the assistant manager.
And our host tonight.
What?
We're both hosts tonight. You knew that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. And then down here at the bottom is Rochelle, right under me down here. This is our lead medium, Rochelle, who will be coming back to investigate with us very shortly. So looking forward to that. Now, tonight we have a great season premiere for you because we not only have one returning guest, but we also have two returning guests. And we have Matt, the Paranormal Consultant, and we have Mackenzie, the Wicca Consultant. So welcome to the show, guys. That was very creepy, but...
His arm just went through Rochelle.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, straight through Rochelle. Now, first of all, how has everybody been since we've been on air? You guys are sad.
You're good. Same old.
So we have had Matt on our show very many times, but I feel excuse me, I feel that we haven't had Mackenzie on enough on the show. So we asked Matt and Mackenzie to be on tonight. Now we might kick Matt off a little early because we don't like him, but
I don't like him either. I heard he's a dick.
Yeah, so
we'll I'll go on the Wicca Consultant. I'll go on the Wicca side.
No, but now his head's going through Rochelle. Rochelle, how's that feel? It kind of tickles a little bit. She's muted. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into the show. So, first of all, you guys, I'm just getting off work. Sorry, scatterbrain tonight. But Matt and Mackenzie, you guys explain to us a little bit about what you guys do. Matt, we'll start with you. Now Mackenzie's going through Rochelle. All right. Matt, so you explained to us before, not only on season 1 of MNSpiritCast, but also season 2 of Minnesota Spiritcast, that you've been doing this for over 15 years. Now, explain to us a little bit about what Paranormal Consultant entails. Like, what do you do? What do you focus on?
Well, basically what we do, and because we are together, as you said, as scrolling, we are the consultants. What we do is we basically help teams either build, rebuild, help out with investigations, basically help out any way we can in the field. Also, we provide, networking for people. We help bring people together. We help basically anything. Anybody who needs help in this field, we're here to help. So it's just like a multi-tool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the tool.
And Hunting Lurker is in the house tonight. Carlos, the Hunting Lurker. Welcome. Mackenzie, explain to us a little bit about what Wicca Consultant is, because you have recently started your own show called Creepy Cryptids, which we'll get into later. But what does Wicca Consultant entail about you?
I help people better understand Wicca. I don't like that I can hear myself.
Sorry. If you can't tell, we're literally like right next to each other, and this camera does not do well with two people at once.
Now you're next to each other.
Good, they can check each other instead of me.
But wait, Rochelle.
But I help people better understand Wicca and show people that it's not bad. It's not all dark magic.
Exactly. So, Matt, you've been doing paranormal, not only consulting for over 15 years, but you've also been doing paranormal investigations for a while. You've did a lot in the paranormal field. Mackenzie, where did the paranormal start for you? Is it when you got with Matt, or were you into it before?
No, you were in it before. By the way, we will be butting heads because this is what we do. But no, you started before you met me.
I did a little bit. It was just because my house is haunted.
What's up, Brian?
It's haunted.
PD.
By the way, everybody coming in right now, welcome to the Minnesota Spiritcast. I do see a few brand new faces here, and we do appreciate you turning your attention over to us for the next 2 hours. Tonight is a 2-hour special. We want to split it even in half with Matt and Mackenzie. So we got some great questions. Any burning questions that our audience has, feel free to go ahead and ask, and we'll do our best to get responses for each and every question. So great to see everybody. And this is Matt and Mackenzie, the consultants, Wicca Consultant, Paranormal Consultant. So now that we're all on the same page and everything, my hunters, it's been a while since we did a show. I mean, you guys excited to be back with Matt and Mackenzie tonight?
Oh, yeah. I have a question for Matt.
Go right ahead.
I know that you've been doing this for 15 years now, but do you still have the feeling that every time that you go into an investigation, you learn something new?
Actually, yeah. That's actually a really good question, brother. Really good. Because, I've done this, like you guys said, for a while now. I've done over 400 homes and businesses as clients and thousands of hours in the field. And one thing I always tell somebody or anybody is always expect the unexpected, because in our field, anything can happen. Absolutely. You can go to the same location over and over and over and get different results. So even a location I've been to for years can be brand new. We can have a brand new experience. So I try to go in not expecting anything. Like the battleship, we've heard a lot of reports, had a lot of great, stories about what happened, but I went in thinking there was nothing there, and I was expecting nothing.
Well, we just expected really not for a whole lot to happen.
Yeah, and we also expected just to have fun.
We knew it was haunted.
Right,
when we first got there, we started hearing sounds.
Like in the bathroom?
Yeah, in the bathroom.
For anybody who does not know what Matt and Mackenzie are talking about, a few months back, they investigated the USS North Carolina, which is a giant battleship over in North Carolina. And this battleship has some some awesome things. You can catch videos on every single team that was there. You can catch videos on any of their social media. I'm sure they got it on all their social medias, but it's actually a really big battleship, which that was not the last time you guys are going. There's talk about Minnesota Spirit Hunters going in the future, so we're looking forward to that.
If I got to come up there and get you guys, it's happening. You're coming.
Well, you're right below me, so like, just pull me down. Took my pick quick. All right, so I'm going to start with a couple brain twisting questions for both of you. Not really, but what I wanted to do tonight is kind of dig deep into your paranormal careers. We want to make this a exciting season premiere episode of Minnesota SpiritCast. So Mackenzie, I'm going to start with you. So why don't you take us back to the very beginning of when you first started doing paranormal? What got you into it? When you met Matt and you understand how do I want to word this? When you met Matt,
I fed him and I can't get rid of him.
Right. When you first found out what Matt does, were you interested in what he does, or were you kind of a little weary about what he does and not really into it? Why don't you take us back to the beginning of when you first really got into the paranormal?
Okay, so first off, nobody believes me, but I did see a werewolf when I was younger. I was like 13 or 14, and we were going trick-or-treating on Halloween. It was me and two of my other best friends. We were going trick-or-treating around this one neighborhood near a cornfield in his little area.
Mm-hmm.
We walked all the way down there. We got to the top of the hill where one of the houses, one of the big, like, super expensive houses were that was supposedly giving out, like, full-size candy bars. Now, at the time, what kid doesn't want a full-size candy bar? I wanted a full-size candy bar.
Exactly. Who wouldn't?
So we walked all the way up to the top of the hill, then we started turning around to walk back down the hill, and we saw something under the light. And there's bears around our area because we're around woods.
Absolutely.
Where I live. So I was like, oh, it's just a bear. Well, it stood up on its hind legs.
Oh.
And it was a lot taller than a bear and a lot bigger than a bear. And I was like, that is not a bear. So we started cutting through yards to get back to his house. So that was it.
So now a lot of people have their own opinions and everything, and people are allowed to not believe in the paranormal and everything. That's their own personal opinion. We got skeptics and everything, but it had to be a scary situation for you when you saw this. I mean, how did you know for sure that it was a werewolf?
At first, we thought it was a hellhound because it had, like, glowing eyes. So that kind of gave it away that it wasn't really a bear because it just straight up had glowing eyes even under a streetlight.
Yeah.
And it was very, very, very dark. And we have black bears, but even under a streetlight, you can tell it's a bear.
Right.
This did not really look like a bear. This looked almost like a dog, but a very, very big dog.
Yeah, and when it stands up on its hind legs, a lot of animals do stand up on their hind legs, but if you know it's not a bear and you're able to debunk whether it's this or that and you kind of rule everything out, what else do you believe other than, the hypothesis that it is a werewolf? I know it'd be something very interesting to see, and that would make me a little scared as well. We
also because the black bears in this area, obviously animals are more afraid of you than you are of them.
Right.
So we threw a rock up against a tree to see if it would go, to see if that would scare it, and it didn't move. It didn't move. It didn't flinch. It didn't do anything. It just stood straight up and then looked at the three of us.
Oh,
like
wow.
It knew we were there. And I was like, nope, I'm out. I was the first one to run. I left my friends behind. And then we got back to the house, and my buddies are like, you would have let us get killed, wouldn't you? I was like, I could just run faster than you.
As long as I live, who cares? You know.
You just have to outrun the slowest person there.
I'll trip Marcus.
Oh, I'll leave
Oh wait,
you
did I
behind.
say that out loud? I thought I was muted. Uh-oh.
Oh, I'll leave you behind. I can run faster than you.
Not if I trip you.
You won't trip me. I'll jump over you.
I guess it's a good thing that I can run pretty fast.
And this week on Minnesota Spirit Couples Therapy, we have Matt and Mackenzie.
Good luck.
Anyway, so very interesting story, Mackenzie. Now, Matt, you have been doing this for a seriously long time. Why don't you take us back to the beginning of your paranormal career? How did you get started, and what made you know that you want to do this?
And then we can talk about how we met.
Well, I had a personal experience, obviously, when I was younger. But here in PA, you know, we don't really talk about it. Like, it's not something you talk to a lot of families about. It's very taboo. It just kind of sparked my curiosity, but I really didn't start investigating until I was living out in San Diego. A group of friends invited me out to the cemetery to do some investigating. And by that time I saw some of the shows and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, whatever. I was drinking. I was like, sure, let's go. I don't care. Go talk to some dead people. And I saw a couple of shadow figures while I was out there, caught my very first EVP, and started having some personal experiences. And that's when I decided, you know what, there's something to this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with watching the shows, I was like, you know, I could do it. I could do this. So I found a team out there, and we'll just say, short version, we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So I kept going out with the friends to these different places, and I decided, you know what, I want to start my own team. I want to do it the right way. And I networked with an individual. His name is Dan Stein. He runs Haunted San Diego. And he started networking with me. He gave me business cards, a couple of like iron-on logos, stuff like that, and just to get everything going. And it just snowballed from there. So that's when I started San Diego Paranormal Eye, and I had a really great team, really solid individuals, and 16 years later, here I am.
That's a very long time, and when you discover a blessing such as the paranormal field, because believe me, guys, anybody who is watching right now who is not really into paranormal, that's awesome. That's your thing. But once you get going in the paranormal field, I've been in the paranormal field for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's truly a blessing to do what we do. We're able to help clients, we're able to have fun with it, and we're able to just make it our own. We're able to do things our way. We have no boss. We can make our own rules in the paranormal field and kind of support each other, just like what the P3 program is. We got the P3 program to help and support each other and other teams and all of that. And as much as the paranormal field grows every day, to see the love that is spread between the paranormal people and the field is phenomenal. Sure, there's going to be drama and there's going to be this and that, but you got to look past that. You let nothing bring you down within the field. If you like what you do, that's all that matters. So
stay level-headed.
Exactly. Just keep your head up and don't listen to other people. It's all you and how you do things in the field. And as long as you like it and as long as you have fun with it, what else matters? So the fact that you're able to do it as long as Matt has done it, I'm sure there's times where Matt has just said, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore. But if you notice, he has changed his mind. He's here 16 years later. If you like what you do, then that's all it is. So
I honestly think that everybody reaches the point where they just have to take a break and step away for a little bit. Because if you don't, you will burn yourself out to the point where you would never want to do it ever again.
Exactly.
And you know, Marcus, brother, you're absolutely right. There have been times, and in this field, in my 16 years, where I was like, I'm done. And not long after Mackenzie and I met, that's where I hit that point. And it was, and I shut down my team here in PA.
Yeah.
And we called it CPPE, Central Pennsylvania Paranormal Eye.
Okay.
She ended up joining the team, and I found out there was a lot of, we'll just say, clout chasing and people who wanting to fake evidence and money driven. Basically, they wanted to be the next GA. I'll just put it that way. And finally, her and I decided we're done. We're not doing this anymore. And the way the consultancy came about was just because of that. We got to the point where we're like, you know what, we missed the field. I really missed being able to help people. So I asked Mackenzie, I said, so I wish there was something I can do to help teams, help people, help grow, and get back into this, because it's something we both love to do. She's actually the one who said about like a consultant. So that's where the name came from. She said about consultant. And I was like, paranormal consultant. So I kind of like
got a ring to it.
I kind of like that. So she was the reason for the name.
I hated you when we first met.
Yeah, you did.
That's not an exaggeration. I absolutely hated him.
Why?
I just didn't like him.
She was very introverted, and she was very antisocial. She was like, no, I don't know you. I don't like you. And she met me like once or twice before we officially met, which, by the way, we met in a cemetery of all things.
Yeah, but the 2 times before that I met you was when Tristan was working out at the gas station you worked at.
Yeah, and up
and
there
I hated
I was too hyper.
We were complete and utter polar opposites of each other. And the fact that he was just too bubbly and too hyper, I just instantly hated it.
Well, you know what they say, right? That opposites attract.
Well, she said it perfectly. She fed me, and now she's screwed.
I invited him over to dinner once.
He's like a stray dog that you can't get rid of, huh?
She rubbed my belly and gave me food. Took me to the vets and got all my shots.
Now you're gonna have Buddy upset. You said the B word.
I don't care. Let him be upset. But yeah, so we met in the cemetery, and after that,
I still hated you.
Yeah, but we still started hanging out though.
Yeah, we started hanging out and talking because I became part of your paranormal team, but I still hated you. But he would purposely, on investigations sometimes, just to get me to like get out of my shell a little bit, be put on the like group that he was in on purpose. Because he wanted to try to break me of my hatred for him.
And now you married me.
I still hate you sometimes.
So technically he won?
Yeah, he won, but I still hate him sometimes.
Yeah, she got all your papers, all signed, sealed, and delivered. Now, I do just want to add before we go any further that the beautiful thing is between you and Mackenzie is that you guys can both do paranormal work and be a couple at the same time. And sure, you guys have your ups and downs and everything, but you don't let it affect your work. You know, you guys do your thing. You know, you host each other's shows. You're on each other's shows with each other. You're able to just get along while being a couple and doing the same thing. And I think that's a beautiful thing within the paranormal field and a relationship.
Well, see, here's the thing, and this even ties into our personal life. Like when we work together too. She's been an employee of mine. We've been, co-workers, and we've been everything. And we both understand that once you put a uniform on or it's time to do a job, it's time to do a job. It's no longer, she's no longer my wife. I'm no longer her husband. It's we gotta get it done. The job has got to get done. You
leave it all at the door, and that's the thing that that's the thing that's even stressed that any day job that you go to, leave your emotions at the door, leave this at the door, leave your relationship at the door, because once you step on the other side of that threshold, there is no BS. You know, it's
right.
That's just the thing. I just want to throw it in because, you know, I've noticed you guys working together. You don't let each other point each other in a certain direction and the other one gets upset about it, and you guys don't take it out on each other on screen. And you know, you guys are able to do everything as a team instead of as a couple. So I really like that.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. And honestly, I'm gonna give a little personal info. So, but like during the battleship, we spoke with her ex, or I spoke with her ex and her before the ship, and I said, listen, I said nothing against her abilities or anything like that. I said she's a great investigator, but I said I have a lot of experience, and if I feel something isn't right, I'm going to call it out. Absolutely. And I said, and it's not just for the ship, but anywhere. If something happens, just paranormal wise, and I get a bad vibe, I'm pulling her out because I don't want. I know she's an empath. I know she can get hurt, and I know other people can get hurt, and she trusts me enough to make that judgment. Yeah, she's stubborn about it, but she understands I'm just trying to protect her. But I also trust her judgment as well. If she says she can handle it, I'll let her go.
Absolutely. And to be fair, you are stubborn as hell, so I don't blame her.
Well, I am. But honestly, do you know, with her sitting literally right here, I will say this. We've been together, what do we just almost 4.5 years now? And we've never fought. Like, we've never actually had an actual legit fight. Like, we've argued about some things, but we've never actually fought.
That's because I have a lot of mental problems with yelling.
No, it's not that. It's we take timeouts, and then we come back and talk to each other. We discussed everything. We work together as a team.
I walk away from you.
Yeah.
If I'm getting, like, really upset, usually I'll just tell him I need a minute, and I'll just walk. I'll just walk away from the situation.
That's awesome.
And I give her that respect that she.
Yeah, you don't chase after me. You know better.
No, usually I'm going the opposite direction.
I have found that's what helps me a lot too. When we have gotten into really heated discussions, me and Kara, I will take a walk and like gather my thoughts and cool down.
Because then you can go back.
Perfect, because I wanted to go away at the time.
Because then you could go back and talk about it later, like a normal conversation.
Exactly. All right. Before the show gets any cheesier than it already is. No, I'm kidding.
Love me.
And we see the true side of Matt on this show tonight.
She's Bad to the Bone to represent. Christina from Bad to the Bone.
Yes. Christina Beasley from Bad to the Bone is here. Thanks for joining in. Tell Angelina to get her butt over here. Do it now. So
we're not saying anything else until Angelina gets here.
Yeah. Complete silence.
Yeah.
So Brandon, my awesome co-host, how's it going?
Going good.
What you got for Matt and Mackenzie tonight?
Oh, I've been thinking about a couple of questions. I know on investigations sometimes you can get overwhelmed by feelings, but what is one of the investigations that you've gotten overwhelmed by, like the feeling of, you know, just needing to get out?
I plead the fifth. I couldn't resist. It's been a while since I messed with you. B, do you wanna go first?
What?
Huh? What investigation made you go, no. Bye-bye.
That lady's house.
Which one?
The one in Bloom.
Oh.
Where her husband committed suicide.
Really? That one?
Suicide has a weird effect on me.
Okay. So, do you want to tell it or do you want me to?
So there was this lady in Bloomsburg that was saying her house was haunted by like multiple spirits. There was also one in the basement, or not in the basement, in the attic that was really creepy. He was really tall.
Yeah, that one was weird.
And he just like huddled over in a corner.
Mm-hmm.
It creeped me out, and I did not want to go in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was just sitting there in the corner. Like, I could feel he was in the corner, but he was like hunched over with like his hands up over his eyes. And he was just watching you the entire time you were in the attic.
Oh,
Creepy.
wow.
So it just made me not want to go in the attic because I was like, I don't know if you're good, bad, or neutral.
Yeah,
I don't know
right.
what you are, but you're creeping me out.
Yeah, there was a lot of negative energy in that home, and I noticed she was starting to get overwhelmed. So she wanted to back out before I even had a chance to say anything. I was like, "That's fine, that's fine." So she went outside, got off property, took a break.
I walked down the street to the fairground.
Yeah, it's literally like 2 blocks from where Para-Uni Day is going to be.
But,
It's cool.
in the bathroom, I guess her husband committed suicide, and that has a weird
Wow.
effect on me.
Yeah, and her son
And
was the one who found the
yeah,
dad.
her son was the one who found him in the bathroom.
Wow.
So because I've had friends who have unalived themselves, suicide has a weird effect on me. And with me being an empath, it makes it really hard to be in a room where
Mhm.
somebody who's unalived themselves.
And Spuzzle, yeah, that was the one.
Yeah,
We
that
had
was the one you went
Casey
to.
was there with us as an extra set of hands.
Yeah. She didn't like the attic either. She got up to the attic. She couldn't even like feel that he was there, but she knew something was up there, and she just didn't like it.
And
Wow.
Fedora and some of Wasp were with us too.
Yep, and they didn't.
Okay.
Who was it?
Well, Scott, Lee, and myself, we were the idiots. We're like, well, we don't feel good up there. Let's go.
Yeah.
And we turned off all the lights. We made sure we were up there. In
Steph
pitch black.
and me went for a walk.
And
after we
Heather was
went
there
to the
too.
attic. Yeah, Heather went with us too because the three of us just couldn't go in the attic. That dude just made us feel terrible. Like it was a very sickening feeling.
Right. All right, everybody, moment of silence is over because Angelina is here.
Darn it, now I got to do the show.
Hey, Angelina, thanks for joining in.
Anyway, your turn.
See, I can't really say there's been a time where I was like overwhelmed.
Why?
No, there's been no times where I've actually wanted to back out of an area. I've been uncomfortable in a lot of places. I've channeled feelings that weren't mine.
Wolfies.
Wolfies was more along the lines of "you're bigger than me." No,
But that's still backing out of an area. Wolfies.
yeah, I don't really consider that.
I do.
I don't consider that one.
You ran like a bitch.
Yeah, you were in front of me.
But that proves that I can
Oh.
run faster than you.
Well, that's also because I wasn't allowed to go where I wanted to go.
I
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
let
go
you.
see Wolfie, pet the Wolfie.
So there's
But-
only one way to do this, and we're gonna make a special segment right here next week on Minnesota SpiritCast, a race between Matt and Mackenzie to see who is faster. Because I'm curious.
I know that. I know this. I know this one. I know this one. I know this one.
Oh
And-
boy.
And any husband, pay attention. You ready? You win.
I win anyway.
Might
'cause
as well.
He got bad knees.
Knees back. Yeah.
So he can't run.
Well, no, I can run just short distances, or if there's food.
You kind of hop.
Or if there's food.
You kind of hop. If you're having a bad knee day, you hop.
That's every day. I wake up with a bad knee day. It's like retirement. It's like retirement. I retire every day. I'm always tired. I don't see what the big deal is. People always complain, "Oh, well, you can't wait for retirement." I wake up tired again. I'm retiring every day. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't know.
I'm right there with you, man. I feel the same.
I don't know.
Matt knows better.
Dina knows. But no, I think there was only really one time where I've actually backed off. I wouldn't say I backed out or away, but I definitely backed off. There's a cemetery which Brandon and Cara, I know you guys are going to be in the area sometime soon. And I'll take it to here, and it was St. Mary's.
Mm.
St. Mary's. We didn't leave. We didn't leave the area. We just backed away. They have most cemeteries that you guys know have like that overburden area somewhere off to the side. Well, that's where our bathroom was. We just kind of tucked our way, did our business, came back through.
Well, you're the guys.
No, there was females that did it too. But anyway, so the one night we got there, and
I'd much rather just go for a bathroom.
well, so would I, but gotta go. Anyway, I was walking up the little sidewalk and went to where the overburden is. And as I turned the corner, there was a black mass, and it wasn't a shadow; it was literally a mass that was about 8 to 9 feet tall. And this thing was huge, and it was not in a humanoid shape. It was just this big black blob. I literally walked up to it and went, "Nope," and walked right back out. And I was like, "Guys, in the vehicles, let's just go down the way a little bit, give this thing some space." Yeah,
It was just me, you, and Ryan.
it was.
Me, that's why.
Raina, what do we do?
Throw up on Daddy.
I forgot about that.
We throw up on Daddy, Raina, right?
Forgot about that. Darn it. Oh. You know, Brandon, I am glad that you asked that question because you don't hear that question very much on many podcasts. And just even the most experienced paranormal investigators have to have a moment where they're like, I don't, you know, they don't feel safe. They don't want to do, you know, yeah. So, which is actually a good question. What is everybody's moment where they just felt that they didn't think it was a good idea?
One of mine was actually at Boyd House. Like after we laid down and took a nap, I woke up with a pounding headache. Like I felt like somebody had punched me in the head repeatedly, and then I was sick to my stomach.
It wasn't me.
I know it wasn't you.
Just wait till the bunkers.
But you know, we also found our walkie-talkie laying behind us broken. The button was literally ripped off of our walkie-talkie.
We've talked about this.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I woke up with my head pounding, sick to my stomach. I stepped outside, smoked a cigarette, you know, calmed down and whatnot, and then went back in and kept filming. But it was definitely one of those moments where it was like, okay, something is really not happy with me.
Smack him right. Smack him.
Anyway,
She had that lunch.
Kara, what's a moment where you felt like you just didn't think it was a good idea to continue on?
The only time I can think of, honestly, in adulthood, is at Freedom Road in the dark when you guys went off, and I was by myself for a split second, and I was trying to grab the rest of the equipment. I was like, nope.
Yep.
But otherwise, I've never, since I was a kid, I haven't really felt like I needed to get out of somewhere.
How about you, Rochelle?
I don't know. I'm weird. I don't really care. I just kind of want to keep going.
You know, if I can say something, no matter what investigation that we have been on, Rochelle has always toughed her way through every single experience that we have encountered, especially when a drunk teenager screams her lungs out laying on the floor. That did not even affect Rochelle. Rochelle is the one who affected this lady, thinking Rochelle was something else. So, Rochelle, I give you... that was Raina, by the way. She brought up Carlos's comment. So, but I give you props on that because from, you know, you've been with us for over a year now, and I haven't seen you back out from one thing. Rochelle's like, let's fucking do it. You know, like... So that's an awesome thing.
Unless she's half asleep and advises people to not go in the ad, or I forget what it was for. She's half asleep. She's like, I wouldn't do that. Oh, I don't care. She goes back to sleep.
The reason I was telling you guys not to do that was that the dad was ticked at y'all for messing around, waking up the kids. And I already told you that once. So I woke up and heard you going up. I'm like, you know, I told, don't go up there. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm done.
I
Yeah,
didn't
That's
go.
why I woke up with a pounding headache. They were up there and pissed him off, and I got beat up.
Right?
It was just the funniest thing because, you know, all of us were up, we're doing this investigation and everything. Rochelle's passed out for what, 2 hours before this? And whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
And she caught the slightest little voice saying we were going to go up to the attic. In a dead sleep, wakes up and says, not a good idea. Whatever. Goes right back to sleep. Just out of nowhere. So I think that was really funny. So
That sounds like me.
now I think the one moment that I thought that it was absolutely not a good idea would be I wasn't there, but when our team went to the Edinburgh Manor in Iowa, you know, they're doing their investigation and everything, and one of our former team members had sent me a picture of a staircase, had taken a picture of a staircase, and right in that picture, nobody caught it at first, but there was a black shape right in the middle of those stairs. And if you zoomed into that picture, you could clearly tell that it was a, I don't like to say that things are demonic or anything without actually looking into it, but the way that this thing looked was no good. I got a gut feeling about it, even though I'm in Minnesota, they're in Iowa. I don't care. It just felt like it wasn't a good idea to continue on. So, Rochelle, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Is that the one in the guest house at the bottom of the stairs there?
I believe so.
Okay. Yep.
I believe so. I just got this picture and I zoomed in and I saw the shape and you could see the face and everything of this creature. And right away, I'm like, it's not a good idea. I didn't want to tell the team that because, you know, they were having a good time at the investigation. But in the end, safety first. You know, if you got a gut feeling about it, let somebody know. And I kind of regret to this day that I didn't say anything that I didn't feel was a good idea, you know.
Right.
Yes,
Well,
you
yeah,
did.
good idea. It's a good idea to just let the rest of the team know, you know, that way everybody else could also watch all at the same time too, just to make sure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the only team member that is here with us right now that went to the Edinburgh Manor is Rochelle. Lisa is also in the comments, and Lisa was there too. And everybody here knows exactly what picture I'm talking about. And if I can find it, then I'll show on a future show. But that's one thing that, and I know a lot of things that we encounter never really give me a feeling like that picture did. That picture just tell them to stay away. And like I said, I'm still regretting today that I didn't say anything about how I was feeling. So, you know, I don't know.
Lisa's giving ideas.
Uh-oh.
Ideas bad.
What ideas?
Her last comment.
This one?
No, Alicia.
Oh, Alicia.
Not Lisa. There you go. That one.
I want to do a group event thing for 2023.
Which, by the way, Marcus, I need to talk to you about something.
Oh, good Lord. That's never good.
Oh, here, icing on the cake. Fedora is involved.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go then. Maybe I can wear a fedora too. I don't know. At Edinburgh Manor, it's big enough, so why not see who all can go? I'm definitely going back in 23.
Oh.
I don't want to disclose too much about the next season of Minnesota Spirit Hunters, but it's definitely on our list, and you guys all can confirm that.
Nice.
We are definitely making our return back. So, Alicia, we'll have to talk about that, see if we can make something happen. No Matt's involved, though.
If I just show up, you'll have no choice.
Well, he is in our group chat, so we can't get anything by without him knowing. So, but Cara, I know that you were talking about you had some questions. Anything? Go ahead, give you the spotlight. What do you got for the lovely consultants tonight?
Well, the number one question I was thinking of that I haven't heard asked is, have you guys have done a lot of in-home, like personal homes, or no?
Go ahead.
What?
Yeah,
Have you
investigate.
investigated?
Yeah, we've investigated a lot of homes.
Like,
Some
okay.
abandoned, some not.
No, I mean like people that reach out saying their house is haunted. Can you come and help me? That kind of thing.
I mean, you've done that more than I have.
It's weird. Now she's over here on my screen. But yeah, I would probably say for me, I'd say about 90% of the 400 cases I've had have been in home.
Have you ever came across where they're faking it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've had a lot.
How common is that?
Out of that 90, I'd probably say about 30%, which is still a very, very high percentage.
Yeah.
Is it more so like businesses that do that?
Businesses? No, believe it or not. I thought it would be, but no, it's mainly people. Whether it's staging or there's Robert, the other half of PD. What up, brother? I've had a lot of people stage stuff to try to get famous. They think that having a local team come in to get all this great evidence that more people would draw attention to and this and that, and shut them down pretty quick.
See, I always think of like businesses, you know, the businesses that advertise that they're, you know, oh, my hotel is haunted or something. That would be more likely for them to fake it than so like a regular personal house.
like the Cosmopolitan Hotel. I've investigated that, and they know it's haunted. Well, the owners know it's haunted. Some of the staff knows it's haunted, and they just work right alongside with the spirits. Something happens, oh yeah, that was just John, or that was just whoever, you know, and they're just okay, cool, no big deal. The Whaley House, they kind of put them up on a pedestal, but at the same time, and I've discussed this on my lives, I'm not a huge fan of doing that because it's kind of like going to a zoo. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that to the spirits. But a lot of businesses that I've dealt with either A, have no idea about the paranormal and they just want answers. You know, they keep hearing about their employees leaving, people being scared, and stuff like that. It's, you know, they just want answers.
Hotels are a big one where people just up and leave the room in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where they just want answers, or they just want, what can I say? They want confirmation. They want confirmation of what's going on. But most of them don't really, you know, do anything negative.
My other question was, have you ever been hurt, like attacked in any way?
Maybe.
Talk about a wormhole there.
Maybe. Maybe. Yay. Man, much love to Bad to the Bone. Can't wait.
Absolutely.
I've been hurt a couple of times. Everything from pushes to being scratched, bitten.
You got bit?
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, my bite one's one of my favorite ones. Believe it or not.
Favorite?
It was. So we were out at this place called Alpine Cemetery, out just outside of San Diego. And one thing I mentioned before is I don't usually investigate with the teams as a founder. I let my investigators investigate, and I just kind of make myself available to whoever needs help. Well, we were investigating the cemetery, and I had I had a hoodie on like this, and my sleeves rolled down, and you know the pocket right here. I had my hands in my pocket, and I'm just looking around up on top of this hill, and I see each group, and all of a sudden I felt this really hard pinch, like right here. But I just had, you know, my arms down. I'm like, what the hell? Went like this, and I had a perfect bite mark.
Really?
Oh yeah, and it burned and it hurt, and I was like, "You son of a bitch!" Do it again. And I'm sitting there like this, and I'm like anxious. I'm like, "Come on, bite me! Do it harder!" And my team heard what was going on. They're like, "What are you doing? That sounds terrible." And I was like, "I just got bit." And they took a picture of it. They're like, "Well, how did you bite yourself?" And I went, "Yeah, yeah, I did that." No, I was like, I'm waiting for him to do it again. I was choked in Annapolis, and Mackenzie was there for that one. And I was like, yeah, I was like, do it harder. let's go. You know? The worst though, I actually almost went to the hospital. I don't know, you weren't there for this one, but I was helping clear a house, and there was something that was, let's just say, not so nice. It wasn't the D word, but it was something not so nice. It was pretty close, and it fought back, and it fought back hard, and it literally drained my energy to the point where I lost about 45 minutes. I just blacked out.
Wow.
I was in the bedroom. I was saying some prayers and trying to help clean and, kind of bring some positivity. And next thing I know, I'm outside. My team actually drugged me outside. They said, we just heard a loud thud and found you on the floor.
Wow.
So my breathing was shallow. It was, I've gotten to that point, but I still went right back in.
Now, that, I imagine that was pretty terrifying for you. Now, would you declare that your most hellish moment within the paranormal field?
No. I've dealt with 3 different infestations, demonic infestations.
Okay.
The first one was obviously off-putting because it is a different feel. It's, I don't care what anybody says. You walk into an infestation, it's different. You know right away something's wrong.
Absolutely.
I'd probably say the second case, the second infestation I went to, that was probably the most hellish. We all left with scratches. We all left bleeding. The clients were pretty bad as well. The dad was in a rage to where he actually had to leave. He had to leave the property. He was about ready to literally kill each and every one of us. He wanted to hurt us.
Wow.
So we had to drag him into the street right off the driveway. And as soon as he hit the street, it was like a switch. He was fine.
Wow.
It was that bad. And we ended up, of course, getting a hold of the church, and we turned it over to them. But I mean, that was probably the most hellish one. And when exorcists and that demonologists say they're going to war, they're not lying. It's bad. And to me, it didn't scare me. It more motivated me because there's an objective that when we go into these homes and businesses, we want to help. And when something like that comes up, that just motivates me even more, makes me more determined, which in turn can be very dangerous because then I can get myself into trouble. But that was bad. That's probably the worst case as far as risk.
Now, what if you got a call for a residential case and you went to this case and even the owners didn't know that, there was a demonic infestation or whatever, and you're not really experienced for demonic activity? What would be the best action to take?
Don't go. Any doubt any team has, do not go.
Right.
What I do, and like we stated earlier, Marcus, you and I have talked about this. I help teams build. I help founders. I help teams. And what?
Basically, if you walk up to the building and something feels weird, don't go in the building.
If you're not comfortable, yeah. But typically, when you get a report, you kind of get the heads up. Now, you'll hear, "Oh, I have a demon in my house." Oh, well, what are they doing? Oh, they're running around my house. Okay. If they start saying stuff like, "What's up, Mark?" If you start hearing stuff like, "We smell sulfur," the attitudes of the house has changed. Nobody's eating.
Growling.
Yeah, their depression. You hear and you get all the classic markers of a demonic infestation. Do not go. Get a hold of somebody with experience, because you can either do one or two things. Either A, you go there and it's a regular haunting, which is perfectly fine, or you go and it is an infestation, and then you run a lot of risks. So if you suspect it at all, don't go. Get a hold of somebody.
And that's why before Minnesota Spirit Hunters takes on a case, we kind of have a sit-down meeting with the owner, whether it's a business, whether it's residential or whatever. We kind of get information about what's going on. That way we can clarify what we're dealing with so we can rule it as spirit, ghost, poltergeist, demonic, whatever. You know, it's always best to get information before you accept anything. You know, what's up, Brandon?
Well, I was just gonna add a comment about what they were talking about earlier about the whole infestation thing. Any interviews that I've ever seen on it or anything, they've always said that it's like running a freaking marathon. It's yeah, like they were saying, going to war. I mean, they say it's like running a freaking marathon. It's just nonstop dragging you down.
Yep.
And you'll know pretty much immediately. I mean, if it's an early stages of an infestation, you might even run into it thinking it's, I don't know, an intelligent haunting. And it's not really that big a deal, and it's a regular case. But when you actually go in or step foot in, you'll know. You will know immediately when it presents itself. Now, most demonics, well, mid to higher levels, they'll stay back. They won't be like right in your face. Low-level demonics are with brutes. They will be in your face. They're the ones that are very dangerous, especially if you don't have experience. But
they want you to know they're there.
But yeah, definitely do your research. And like I said, when you're in there, you will know.
You know, Rochelle, that kind of brings me back to the Palmer house when we were over there. We were doing our investigation over there. When that person kept getting in your face or whatever she was doing, like, we, right after Raina was born, not a smart idea, but we ended up taking her to the Palmer house, which was not a smart idea. And we realized that we're kicking ourselves for doing that, because Rochelle says that this spirit is constantly getting in Raina's face. We're trying to figure out why Raina's constantly crying. Rochelle confirmed right there that it was, in fact, paranormal that was making her cry.
Yep. She'd go up right in Raina's face and scream at her and scare her. Half burnt, half normal face, and it was really gross, the side that was burnt. So every time Raina was about to sleep, this lady would go and just pop her face just like she did to me and just jump right in Raina's face and scare her.
And after that experience, never, ever, ever will we ever take a child to an investigation like that. We've never been to the Palmer house. We didn't know what to expect. And it was a last minute thing. And we were wondering why she was constantly crying. And when, I don't know if it's a natural thing, but when Rochelle told me that, I kind of got a little furious and upset and everything, because like knowing that there's nothing that I could have done about this other than not taking her to a haunted location such as the most haunted hotel in Minnesota. So definitely not a smart idea to take children to a paranormal investigation.
And she's yelling at you about it right now.
Right?
Like, why are you bringing that up, Dad?
1 year later. I do agree with this, Barbara. We do not allow, after that incident, we don't allow children under the age of 18 go. And let's say that a child was with their guardian or whatever, there are waivers that we have people sign. We have waivers for every single thing that we do. And we're constantly working on all these waivers and stuff. In the long run, people are signing these waivers or they don't want to sign them because it's a paranormal team. Who cares? In the long run, these waivers will help. Who cares if we're not a giant paranormal team or whatever? All this paperwork is done for a reason, and that's why we do it. So Facebook user Barb, you're underage.
I think that's
So,
Victor.
I was gonna say that might be our boy Vic.
That's perfect. Mark says Enlightened Souls also does paperwork. I'm glad we're not the only ones, because
I did.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
I typed up a agreement that said if you're under the age of 18, you have to sign this waiver whether you want to or not. agreeing that if anything happens to you, we are not liable.
No,
Right.
I agree with taking underage kids to investigations like clients. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Taking them to like a cemetery or a local haunt, I see nothing wrong with that, as long as the parents sign that waiver or they're present.
Yep.
You know, I've had in what I call investigators in training, 16, 15-year-olds who want to learn the paranormal.
Yeah, there was one in Williamsport, and I just so happened to have the waiver with me, and I was like, your mom has to sign, and you have to sign.
Yep.
And this says that if anything happens to you while you're with us, your mom cannot come after us.
Yep. Yep. And I see nothing wrong with that, like going out to a public area, like, but clients, no.
Yeah, right. Now, I want to ask from a different standpoint. Is it a foolish thing to do that, let's say we got a residential case before when Minnesota Spirit Hunters first opened, I never liked the clients to actually stay there while we did our investigation, because if something spiraled and, you know, they were almost defenseless and couldn't do anything, or we couldn't do anything, you know, is it foolish that you don't want them to be there during your investigation, or you just slap a waiver in front of them and say, you know, if this happens, our team's not liable for it?
He had a thing where he would always ask if the client wanted to stay.
I personally leave it up to the client.
Used to tell them that it's probably not a good idea that they stay.
See, me personally, I like clients to be there. I'm not going to force them.
I understand that we're strangers in their house.
But here's the thing: if they're being targeted, if one person is being targeted, let's say it's a poltergeist, or let's say it's a negative entity, or let's just say it's an entity that's just shy, you want the clients close by. If they're being used as a trigger object, you want them close by to get those results. I'm not saying use them as bait, but what I'm saying is usually halfway through the investigation, they're out on base, off property, somewhere safe, where they can't interfere with the investigation, because that's where a lot of the debunking should happen. That's a lot of the getting used to the environment and warming things up, getting things ready. And usually about the halfway point, if we're not getting anything, that's what I'm going to tell the clients. Hey, do you guys want to come in and sit with us? And just, especially if they say, oh, well, I feel like the case in Bloomsburg, you know, they thought it was their husband. Okay, well, why don't you come in? You know, get that closure. Say whatever you want to say. You know, take ownership.
She was at base.
And she came in. And she came in, and that's when we started getting
she
some
wanted
stuff.
her son wanted to stay. But
Her son didn't want anything to do with it.
Well, he wanted to stay at first for his mom.
Yeah.
And then I took him aside because he was like, what, 17?
Let's go. Yeah. No.
16, 17?
He was 16.
Yeah, 16. And since I'm like closer to his age, I like pulled him aside and I was like, listen, I understand you want to be here for your mom, but right now that's not going to help. Your best bet is to go and spend some time with your friends.
Yeah, he was. I don't want to say
more worried about his mom.
I don't want to say he was anti-paranormal, but he had a lot of negative energy hanging around him.
And he was just more worried about his mom than anything else, which is the only reason he wanted to stay. And I was like, that's not a good reason to stay.
Yeah, he was uncomfortable. Because you're worried about
your mom.
He was uncomfortable. Yeah. He was. He's not a big fan of it. So it's
he just seemed like really angry. Because when I told him that it'd probably be better if he got off of the property, he like huffed at me. And I was like, listen, I'm still older than you. You might be a minor, but I will put you in your place. Like, I'm doing this for your own good. I'm not doing this to be a bitch. I'm doing this for your safety.
Right.
But no.
Right now, the energy you're putting off is not good.
But no, typically, like I said, I leave it up to the clients whether they want to or not. But I prefer them to be there. I prefer them to be at the investigation.
Okay.
But I don't force them.
Right.
No, if they don't want to be there, they can leave.
Exactly. To kind of turn the attention a little away from the subject, Matt, one thing that I've been a little curious about, you started out in the paranormal in California, right?
Yep.
So when you up and left California and you made the move to Pennsylvania, what made you want to carry your work within the paranormal over to Pennsylvania?
Well, honestly, I wanted to keep it going. There's not a lot, like out in San Diego. Well, it's a lot of places that have a lot of activity around. I agree. Do it. But the paranormal is very open, especially in San Diego. San Diego loves the paranormal field. They support the field and everything like that. Yeah, it's a lot more territorial. We'll just put it nicely. But out here, you don't hear about it. So I thought, what an opportunity to really branch out and really make a statement in this field and bring some of these teams locally out of the woodwork. So I know there's teams here. It's just they're used to, okay, well, we'll just stay backstage. No. Let's come up front. Let's show the community that the paranormal field actually cares. And that's what did it for me. And then I obviously started checking out a couple of places and doing a couple of things and networking. And
you know, I'm going to put something to a stop right now with you, Honey Lurker.
Don't be a Marcus. Don't be a Marcus.
Let's hush up for a minute. Both of my phones are charged all the way. So thank you very much.
Is it a full moon?
Anyway.
No.
No, it's not full moon?
No. Nope.
Now, what's your laptop at? Speaking of which, dies.
100%. 100%.
100% dead.
You guys can't pick on me on this season because you know what? I got 2 of them now, and they're always charged. So thank you.
Kendra set it up for you then, or
good job, Kendra.
You know what? Just because you can outsmart Brandon on the spirit box doesn't mean you can talk about me. Okay?
Are you trying to deflect?
Yes.
That's exactly what he's trying to do.
New season, same attitude. I love it.
Well, no. So, which reminds me, guys, that investigation, our season 2 premiere is coming up soon, and super excited to premiere this new investigation season that we got. And so far within editing this episode, it's a good one. So I just wanted to bring that up. But if you guys don't know what we're talking about Kara outsmarting Brandon, it's really funny, and we are going to be starting this new thing, a blooper series after each investigation, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So, but back to our guest here. We don't want to make this about us. There's bubbles on me. Good Lord. So, no, it's fantastic that, you know, when you left California, you didn't leave your dream of paranormal there with you. You know, you kept it going, and that's what I like about Bubbles.
That's what you like about Bubbles?
Certain people, you know, they just don't give up no matter what obstacle comes in their way. So it's fantastic when you see people continue. What's up, Brandon?
What do you two see in the future for yourselves?
Kids.
Wow. Oh, okay.
He wants to die today.
I meant paranormal wise, but
that ain't normal.
For the record, the fact that he said that makes me hate him. Because I don't want kids at all.
That's why I said it.
I have furry children. They're fine. They don't talk back and they don't cry.
Cool.
Otherwise known as cats. Anyway.
Our first kid didn't really hardly cry at all. Our third one on the other hand, nonstop.
But as far as the future for the paranormal side, I think we're just honestly, for the most part, taking it day by day to see what happens. Taking every advantage of everything that we can do, or any opportunity that comes to the table, we'll take. So, but right now we're just having fun.
I have plenty of kids. Who needs some? I got my one. I'm good.
Oh, Vic.
I have 6 cats. I don't need any more.
You have 6 cats and a newt.
I got 6 cats and 2 lizards.
And me. I'm
And a
the biggest
mankind.
kid.
Okay, so Mackenzie, this one's for you. Are you able to? I know Rochelle is able to do it when she needs to. Are you able to spiritually turn your gift off when you don't want it to? When you don't want to use your gift, are you able to spiritually turn it off?
I saw that, and because this is Marcus's show, I can't tell you to go fuck yourself.
You just did.
You just did. Good job, Mackenzie. You tell him.
But anyway, go fuck yourself.
Beep. There, I got you.
You're a little late. Delayed beep.
I didn't read the script.
But no, I'm still learning it, so I can't really just turn it off at will.
Okay.
It
Which
sucks.
is why we start a new series called Minnesota Spirit Couples Therapy. Matt and Mackenzie, season 1,
luck.
episode 1.
Good luck.
And so on.
We could take up the entire season.
I think I do it involuntarily. I don't do it on purpose. I sometimes just don't think about it and it just goes in. So it's not like I can control when it's there, when it's not there. It just kind of involves.
Right. Basket.
It's there a
Sorry.
lot of times when I don't want it to be there.
Right. And that's the thing, you know, I a couple years ago I learned that I could I have a gift and I'm still trying to perfect that gift, and our medium T kind of confirmed it for me that I do have this gift, but like on the first episode of season 2 that'll be coming out soon, I was the only one at this investigation who had a gift. So things were coming in so much more frequent than they usually do that I was overwhelmed. I was almost in tears. Ask Kara. I literally went up to the car and told Kara that I was about to be in tears because so much was coming at once that I didn't know how to handle it. So when it comes to a situation like that, I haven't perfected this gift. So when it gets out of control, I don't know how to turn it off. So it can be a little much.
Yep.
That's how I am, like 24/7.
But didn't the meditation help you though when we all sat
It
down?
did.
And did? Yeah.
It did. So it's a great technique that Kara had taught me during this investigation to the meditation. If you get overwhelmed and everything, sit down, clear your head, go to a quiet spot, meditate. It makes you feel so much better. I tell you, when all this was happening, we went under a gazebo type thing, which you'll see in the episode, and we all went under there and we meditated. We all meditated, and we all I know I felt so much better after meditation. So it's
What did you make me do when you first found out and we went
Oh, the
to
white
the
light.
house?
The white
No,
light. Surrounded
that-
with the white light. Grounding.
That and he made me put in my headphones and
Oh.
walk around the house. So I was listening to like calming music the entire time I was walking around the house
Mm-hmm.
to like try to reset her. Because at the house we were at, it was in like
Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him, Raina. Get him.
it
Get
was in,
daddy.
like this weird really bad neighborhood in Williamsport, and I did not want to go outside because it was like the ghetto.
Mm-mm.
So he just had me put in headphones and just had me sit at base for a while and just listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not going out in the ghetto.
We got to see you do this, Mackenzie. You got to go through the wormhole and grab Matt's hat.
I grabbed the sweatshirt. Does that count?
No, there's nothing underneath it.
You got to get his
So give
hat.
me the hat. Give me the hat. that.
Oh, you
God,
turned me.
I think my daughter is possessed by a poltergeist. She keeps leaning all the way backwards.
Well, as long as her head doesn't start spinning.
We'll be good.
Yeah.
She's talking to you.
But Raina, we throw up on Daddy.
Right now we're hitting
Look
down.
at the smile.
Same
Boing,
season,
boing,
same
boing.
Matt. Or different season, same Matt. Can't get
Hey.
away from him.
My niece will learn the right way.
Can't live without him. Can't successfully get rid of him.
Nope.
You,
Especially when you
well, you
share
can
the
get
link.
rid of him, but he'll secretly and somehow make his way back.
Well, it doesn't help that you send the link in chat.
Yeah, very true. So,
That's your fault.
Rochelle, she's inside my ear. Such a weird child, I swear.
Pinch him, Rita. Pinch him.
Safety.
She's yours.
Good Lord. Rochelle, how about you? You got any questions for Matt and Mackenzie, the consultants?
I do have one from Mackenzie. So if someone wanted to learn more about the Wiccan, do you have like books or site that you would recommend to them?
I have books. I have lots of books.
Mhm.
I have one specifically that I recommend to every baby witch.
Okay.
It is called Wikipedia, a modern day white witch's guide. You can't see it because
It's a green book, and
It's a
we've
green
got
book,
a green
so
screen.
it says
So
on the green screen there. But
Okay.
you can see the Wikipedia.
The modern
Mhm.
witch.
It's literally just like a how-to and like history.
it's a nice beginning manual for
I got that.
Wiccas.
I had one when I first met Matt, and then our basement flooded, and it ruined all my books.
Oh.
So I had to get a new one.
Well, wasn't the Wikipedia the one I got you? But I got you the everyday one too. You bought that one.
Yeah, I bought the witchcraft one.
Yeah.
This one has all different spells in it. It has black magic in it too.
That's pretty cool.
Don't
Good question, Rochelle.
black magic.
Yeah.
I mean, black magic isn't necessarily like a bad thing.
It's intent.
It depends.
Mm-hmm.
Hexes are based on intent. Like, don't hex somebody to have cancer. Karma's a bitch.
Yeah,
Right.
that stuff, because karma does work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look
Alicia
what karma
has a
did to my
question.
car.
Alicia says, "Do you ever use? I don't want to butcher this word.
Sigils.
Sigils. Okay.
Thank
or
you.
spells during investigations.
I've used one sigil in particular. I use that one a lot, and it's a protection sigil. That is the one thing that keeps me really grounded, because it basically puts up a barrier between me and everything else. So unless I want something in, I had it on a piece of paper, and if I wanted stuff in, I would fold it in half, and that would basically break the sigil.
Oh.
And then when I wanted the sigil back up, I would just open the paper again,
Huh.
and then the sigil would be whole. So
That's
think of
weird.
it as like,
A hall pass.
has anybody seen Supernatural?
Yes.
Yep.
Like when they scratch off the like paint?
Yep.
Think of it like that. When you're folding the paper, you're basically breaking the circle.
Yep.
It's really fascinating how some things in the paranormal field work. I swear, some things that you would never think would be of use are actually pretty cool in the paranormal. You know.
Like half of your kitchen spices are really good for a lot of spells.
Yes.
Thyme,
Yes.
rosemary,
Garlic,
garlic,
pepper,
salt.
basil.
If you want to make black salt, you need sea salt. You need sea salt and charcoal.
Mm-hmm. You know,
So you can make your own black salt instead of buying it.
we had a consultant named Reverend Patience who used to work with us back almost in the beginning, and she told us about this this spices thing, and to make a mixture of kind of cleanser spray or whatever. Said that you could use. I think it was like thyme. It was another different seasoning, and then it was what was it? Some type of vinegar. I forgot what type of vinegar it was, but there was like 3 different things that she said mixed together, and you could use those to almost like get rid of.
Might have been apple cider.
I was just gonna say it's
Because
probably apple cider vinegar.
A lot of
Probably.
the spells in my books require apple cider vinegar.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's just fascinating with a lot of the stuff that we use in the paranormal field. Some things that you would never think would work have the best results usually.
Well, it all depends on intent and also the individual. If you got someone who's, you could write sigils all day, you could write runes all day, you can, get every crystal and stone out there, but if your heart isn't into it, it ain't gonna work.
Exactly. It's in the paranormal, it's all about intention. Everything that you do in the paranormal field is about your intentions, what you're trying to do, and it's also believe it or not, it's about your attitude when you're doing what you do as well. Intention and attitude are 2 big things that you need to focus on when you're.
Should I tell them about the spell I found in my book about the chicken blood?
I'm not buying a chicken. No.
No, it had to be a black chicken.
Racist.
Specifically a black chicken.
Yeah, it's racist.
So there was this spell in the witchcraft book for wealth, and it's a dark magic spell. The pages are marked with what they are, with an L or a D, and I didn't look at the top of the page where the L or the D would be, and I was just reading it, and I was like, a black chicken, and Matt's like, what?
We were literally just sitting there, just watching YouTube or something like that, and all I hear is her say, "Black chicken." And I just went,
"Black chicken blood."
Excuse me?
Black chicken blood, and then the feather of the chicken, and then it said like bury a coin at the crossroads with all this shit.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be wealthy in the next 24 hours.
Huh.
And dead in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Supernatural.
Because then I looked at the top and I saw the D and I was like, oh, I don't want this. And I went to the next page.
Burying anything at a crossroads, I will not do.
Yeah, right.
No,
you never know the outcome.
That's asking for bad.
Especially on a main intersection or a main highway. People don't like that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just go bury it on 80 in the dirt.
Me.
Well, now to bury anything at a major crossroads, you'd have to have a jackhammer.
And?
Yeah.
You just go out to the main highway with a jackhammer in the middle of the night.
It's not like the freaking crossroads in Supernatural where it's just a dirt road.
I'm with
Yeah.
PennDOT.
There's definitely concrete now.
I'd go out there with a jackhammer. Department of Transportation.
I would pay to see that.
I mean, if
I could just see Matt out there in the middle of the road, friggin', semi just laying on the horse.
He would do that too.
Matt just wipes the sweat. Hi.
Pretty much. Y'all know me too.
Lurker
It'd be funny to watch.
Sounds confusing. It is very confusing. I was very confused.
I'm always confused.
Oh,
and then I read it more, and I was like, "Oh, basically, I'm summoning a demon. I don't want that."
Yeah, right.
You summon a demon. You don't even let me have a duck. I want a duck, but you summon a demon.
Hey, no, I would have to get a black chicken to summon a demon.
That's why I want a duck.
I don't understand why the chicken has to be black. Yeah, I could use a black duck.
She'll get you a duck, but
Wait, this is recorded. Are you saying I can go get a duck?
Can I
She's
bury
gonna
it
slit
across
its
her?
throat and use its blood, but yeah.
I mean, it said chicken, but aren't chicken and ducks kind of close? So would that count?
Here's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
I want a duck.
Y'all are crazy. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we are an hour and a half in, so I kind of want to dig into a few of the programs that are hosted by you two. So, Mackenzie, recently, and then right behind you there is that's the logo, I believe.
That's our Wicca
Okay, so
Consultant logo.
that's your logo. Mackenzie, let's dig a little bit deeper into creepy cryptids. For one, you have recently started this podcast with Squeakers. What is creepy cryptids all about?
Anything and everything. It's about the beyond side of paranormal, the things that a lot of people consider in the paranormal to be taboo. So like aliens and Bigfoot and werewolves and vampires. Mothman.
Cryptozoology, basically.
Yeah, cryptozoology. I'm a minor demonologist, so I know a decent amount about demons.
Mm-hmm.
I've just done a lot of research over my life from the time I was, I think, 13
right
till now, and I'm 26 years old. When I first saw, when I had my first encounter with the werewolf, I just started really researching cryptozoology and demonology.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And I've always been fascinated with aliens.
Is that why you married me?
You're not an alien.
I ain't human.
You're a lizard man.
You know who you should reach out to and get him on your show?
So
John Yost.
yeah, I thought about that.
You know what?
He's really informational about
to be caps.
So honestly, I thought about because John Yost is coming back to the MNSpiritCast this season. He's scheduled for a show. So if you don't get a hold of him before that show, we'll do you a solid and recommend your show to him. Because he'd definitely be a good one to talk about UFOs and stuff. Yeah, we had him on the show back in Cara. It was like what, February or something like that. Very insightful man about UFOs and aliens. So
was it?
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
Yes. Remember, guys, Karen's also cryptids too.
Oh yeah, we determined that on my show the one day. We started talking about parakarens and how they just kind of appeared. So now on my show, they're called the cryptid Karens.
We have cryptid Karens now?
They're the same as parakarens, except they just appear and disappear like cryptids. So they're cryptid Karens.
That's something
So
else
they
I need to
appear,
worry
say
about.
what they want to say, and then they disappear.
I wish they all just skip the first
Here's
step.
something a little interesting, Mackenzie. I want your take on. How do you feel about elementals?
I've met one.
Elaborate.
I've had one follow me home from a cemetery.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that wasn't him.
You're pretty elemental, but
one of our old friends, Jared, angered an elemental in a cemetery. One of the light Wiccas had a shrine, and he didn't realize what it was.
Yes, he did, because I told him what it was. I found it.
But he didn't care.
No.
And I told him not to touch it after Matt told him what it was. I was like, you really shouldn't touch that because it's for something that's a lot more powerful than you
So,
are.
real quick, I'm going to interject. So, on the cemetery, which isn't too far from where we all live, there was a dark altar on one side of the cemetery directly across in a perfect line was the light altar. And then there was a Christian cross right in the middle that intersected both of them on a perfect visual line, which caused basically a whole mess.
Wow.
That energy there was just unreal. And it still is. As I knew it was. But,
Pretty much there was like a line right down the center of the cemetery.
Oh, I'll show you guys when you guys pop in.
still
I'll
there.
show you. Yeah. But yeah, it was literally a direct line of sight.
But
Like,
it
you stand in
was-
the middle of the one altar, it was a straight line to the cross, and then on the other side was the other altar. It was perfect.
The light Wicca was near or going towards the creek, so it was a shrine to
Yeah.
a water elemental.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dark Wicca was a shrine to a fire elemental, for obvious reasons.
Wow.
That's where I saw that black mass
Yeah.
I was telling you about.
But Jared decided to be smart, and he took something from the light Wicca
Because it was
Oh,
shiny.
because it was shiny. They had
Oh,
a
boy.
shiny, like azul crystal.
It was a crystal
Almost.
that was basically chiseled into a point. It looked like almost like an arrowhead, but instead of on the bottom of the arrowhead how it has the grooves for the spear, this was just a solid point that was just kind of basically a V shape. So it was a V with an inverted V on the other side.
Oh.
Yeah, and then on the back of it, it had a sigil on it.
Yep.
He took the shiny sigil rock and then decided that he was going to keep it.
You know, Brandon, that Brandon and Cara, that kind of reminds me of the investigation we just completed a couple of weeks ago with that sculpture, and it had that baby tucked way in the back of it.
Yep.
That was kind of weird a little bit because none of us saw that baby at first, you know. So
I
it
took
was
the rock from him, and that's how the elemental followed me home, because it was attached to the rock because of the sigil on it. So I had a water elemental in my house for 2 weeks before I could.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like 2.5 weeks before I could get back out to the cemetery and put it back where it went. And it was very, very mad. And I kept trying to tell it, I was like, I'm going to take you back. You gotta wait. You gotta be patient. Don't destroy my room.
right.
Because every time I walked in my room, it was just a pushing, like, flowing energy. Which is how you could tell that it was water, because it was going up and down and up and down and up and down. I basically felt like I was in a storm in my room
Wow.
without it raining.
Wow.
So he was very, very angry that he got taken from where he was.
Lurker wants to know, is it possible to call out an elemental or invoke a elemental spirit?
Yes, but it takes at least 6 witches or people that know what they're doing.
Alicia says, Mackenzie, do you watch The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch? And what do you think about the research they're doing and the stuff they have happening during their research?
I love Skinwalker Ranch. I love that show. It's getting, I haven't seen any of the newer episodes recently. I know they just brought it back on TV, but apparently it's getting really, really bad. One of the people that are filming, I think a cameraman, just ended up in the hospital with a severe, severe injury. Like, he passed out and did not wake up. And I guess he was like, they had him strapped with a bunch of stuff. He was in a daze. He didn't know where he was.
I agree with her.
What she said. You guys didn't catch that sweet moment right there, did you?
Yeah, I saw it.
Really sweet moment.
Look at her. Like, yee.
That's awesome. All right, so to kind of cover all of the bases here, Matt, let's move over to the Paranormal Partnership Program as well as or also known as the P3 program. Why did you start the P3 program? What's it about? And where do you see the P3 program going within the next, 3 years?
Well, the P3 program was originally started to give teams kind of a more direct access to network. Just kind of something to stand behind, to showcase not just, themselves, but everybody. The P3 program is designed to be run by the teams for the teams, and it's basically just to showcase and show people that, look, there are teams out there who believe in true para-unity, who actually care about each other and who are like family, and an identity to stand behind. And it's not anything to do with me. It's just the name is kind of, it's nice. It's nice to be able to say, yeah, I'm a P3 family member. Instead of just saying, oh, I work with, Minnesota Spirit Hunters. I work with these people. I work with that people. I work with these people. I work with these people. I work with the P3 family. And then that way, whenever, like with the family page the P3 family page that was started, now the public can see who the P3 really is. And you can showcase it and promote it. And it works very well in tangent with ParaPost and with everything that we've all been doing. Get him, Raina. Get him.
He's being attacked.
Absolutely.
Get him. Yeah, get him. Yeah. Yeah, Daddy. You can throw up on him too? Blech. Right?
That's never going to stop, is it?
No.
But
I had a feeling. Anyway, so anybody who is not familiar with the P3 program, it's an awesome program who is founded by Matt, and like he said, it's ran by all the teams, and it's basically a platform.
She wants to tell.
Yeah. It's a program where we all can support each other in a drama-free zone. We can share our stuff as well as other stuff, and kind of just show the support and the love for other teams, and kind of get that in return from the other teams as well. So it's a great program to be a part of. Yes, it is Raina's turn to talk. So go ahead. She's like, nope, I got your phone. I'm good.
He's a phone now.
Yep.
Call for pizza.
Call for pizza, yes. If anybody was open. So now to kind of end the show out here pretty soon, I want to go ahead. Kara is our second host tonight. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Kara if she's got anything.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And if not, then we'll turn it over to our co-host, Mr. Brandon.
Oh, she's probably got a question.
Yeah.
You're hoping. I kind of want to know if you guys have any like go-to spots. What's your go-to spot if you're just wanting to get out and investigate something quick? Just to get it, if you hadn't had time and you need to get out of your system, do an investigation, where's your go-to spot?
St. Mary's. St. Mary's or the trails, the walking trails. There's a set of walking trails not too far from where we live.
The walking trails are closer.
Yeah, and it part of the trails actually cross over top of a creek. And we all know what running water does.
Yep.
And we actually, I don't want to say we're chased out, but we backed out of that area one time. We were investigating and checking it out because it's basically considered virgin territory. I've never heard of a team actually officially checking it out. And
every team that we've talked to that has said that they didn't get very far.
Yeah, they didn't even cross the
They didn't even
bridge.
get to the footbridge.
No. So we went down and we went further, and
We almost got across the foot.
no, we did. We get across the footbridge. We went all the way down to the Hessfield,
Oh, yeah.
and we started seeing a lot of weird anomalies in the trails. Like there was a lot of ground that was like kind of pushed into a circular area, which we thought was some kind of maybe an altar or just a meditation site. So as we were exploring these places, there was a group of people, it's the only thing I can explain, that were probably about 30 yards away from the trail where we were in the woods. And when I was down there, I wanted to make sure it wasn't cops or anything else. I wanted to make sure if it was, we could announce ourselves and be safe about it.
Well, the whole reason that is because as far as test field's concerned, you go in there after dark.
Yeah.
Because of the area that it is.
Well, that's also because it's a lot of wilderness too. So
well, not only that,
and
there has been a lot of bad druggy things happening there.
But I was hiding in the wooded area. They were up on the trail, and I heard what I thought was Latin. And then when I started really listening, it wasn't. It was like almost archaic
and I know
and
Latin.
backwards. Mm-hmm. Like it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, no, we're gonna back out. I don't know what that is. I don't want to mess with it. We had a couple of miners with us as well. I was like, we're gonna back out.
Because he came up the hill.
Mm-hmm. And I said, we gotta go. We gotta start backing out.
And I was like, well, what did you see? Because I'm that person that's like, it's not fair that you got to see and I didn't.
Oh, you saw it. It was following us.
So I started to go down the hill, and he's just like, get back up on top of the hill. And I'm like, no, it's not fair. You got to see what it was, and I didn't. You made me stay with the teenagers. Now you get to stay with the teenagers, and I'm going to go see.
Mm-hmm.
It's only fair.
I was like, okay.
So he let me go down the hill. I barely got halfway down the hill, and I started hearing what I also thought was Latin. And I took 2 years of Latin in high school. So I know what Latin sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this sounds like a very, very bad version of Latin. And I go back up, and I'm like...
You're right. Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready to go home now.
Mm-hmm. I was like, what'd you hear? And she's like, shut up. So we started walking back towards the trail and walking towards where the footbridge was, and looked back, and there was 3 individual figures on the trail.
Oh, wow.
They
just appeared on the trail, and they were about 40 yards behind us, and they followed us all the way back to the footbridge.
They were walking.
I had my Dead Sea salt, holy water, and some other things on me. So I basically made like a barrier on the footbridge, and I literally said, you are not allowed to follow us beyond this point.
Yeah, you asked for my sage because I had black sage.
You had black sage, and we had lavender oil.
Yep, I had black sage and lavender oil with me.
And I basically said, you guys are not allowed, in the name of God, you are not allowed to follow us any further. And it rushed at us. No, it rushed at us. It rushed at me.
It rushed at
and
you.
I backed up, and it hit that barrier like almost like a cartoon. And it just slammed right against it, and I could feel the pressure.
So, like, think of Tom and Jerry when, like, Tom hits the door.
Or Roadrunner?
Yep.
Yeah, it was like that, only a lot scarier. And once I realized what it was, and I realized that this thing is not a humanoid, I was like, yeah, we need to back out quick. Mm-hmm. So we didn't run, but we briskly walked out.
Oh, no, me and you walked.
And I noticed the barrier starting to kind of vibrate. You could see it. It was the oddest thing. You could see it vibrate, and I knew it was probably going to break. So we got out of there just in time.
Wow.
Me and you walked.
All right, you want to go?
The teenagers ran.
I do.
They saw this thing bounce off the barrier, and they were gone.
Yeah.
Sounds intense.
That was probably one of the scarier moments was when I saw that thing hit the barrier.
I was giggling the entire time, by the way.
I know. Yeah, he was. He giggles when he's scared.
No, I giggle when I'm excited or when I'm hurt or when it's nerves.
You giggle when you're nervous and you're scared. So he was definitely scared.
No scared.
But I tried.
Is there any running involved?
That's up to you.
Because I'll die.
I mean,
I don't think our life was in danger. I think that it was just a territorial thing. Considering when it appeared, we were probably about 200 yards from the footbridge. It had plenty of time to catch us, but it stayed about 40 yards behind.
It just walked. It just followed us until Matt said that it couldn't follow us anymore, and then that's when it rushed at him.
Wow.
So
Matt pissed
basically,
it off.
Yeah.
it was just trying to push us out of where it was. It didn't want us there.
It really didn't get aggressive until I started praying. That's when it got aggressive. So I was like,
So what do you think exactly? What was it?
I don't know.
They look like humans, but
They were human.
when it hit the barrier, I kind of got a glimpse, but it had no face. It was just black underneath the hood. So there was like literally nothing under the cloak that I could see. It just looked like a human.
Think of Race.
Yeah, think of Ring Race from
Or,
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they freaking called?
I don't know what that
Harry
is.
Potter.
You've seen the first
thinking
one,
Dementors?
the fight scene at the top of the tower.
Kind of.
Frodo gets stabbed.
Was I paying attention?
Probably not.
But yeah, there's those,
Tara, you watch
and
Harry
then
Potter?
the Dementors from Harry Potter. That's what they remind
Oh, I know
me
what
of.
that is.
Yeah,
Dementors?
Yeah, they remind
like
me
that.
of
Like
like
that.
that. They have like hands and stuff, but they don't have a face.
Mhm.
That's what these things were. They had like
What it is though?
they had hands and like we could hear feet. We couldn't see them. We could hear feet.
That was the teenagers running.
No, when the thing was walking. When those things were walking 40 yards behind us, we could hear feet behind us, but we couldn't see anything. But then
Have
when
you
it
ever
hit the
talked-
barrier,
Have you ever talked to Ken Allen about that? Like, he seems
Not
like
yet.
a guy that would know.
Not yet. He's coming on the show.
There you go. Ask him.
Don't ask me when, but he's coming on the show.
I forgot about that, to be honest.
No, I didn't.
It didn't rush me, so I didn't like really feel like I was in danger. I actually didn't really feel like I was in danger the entire time. I just felt uneasy, like it didn't want me there.
Well, as soon as it hit the barrier and realized it couldn't cross, I was like, go away.
Yeah, and then the rest of them showed up and broke the barrier.
And I was like, okay, bye.
That's when the
Apple,
barrier started vibrating. It was when the other 3 showed up. So then there was 3 following us, and then the other 3 showed up and were like, "You want to put this barrier up? Well, we'll show you that we can take it down."
It was whatever they were strong. They were
'Cause
strong.
it took it down in no time. We just started driving away in our cars when we heard something like crack.
And we could see like lights in the trails as we were driving away.
Yep. So it as soon as we started driving away, it cracked the barrier. If we would have still been standing there, it probably would have gotten us.
Yeah. Wow. All right, guys. So we are going to start wrapping up here because we don't want a cranky Cara in the morning. She's got to be up super early. So we're going to start wrapping up here. Alicia has a really good question here. Oh,
That's a good
not
question.
that
Oh shit. That's a good question.
It's a great question.
one. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay. So what's everybody got coming up?
You want to go first, B?
Monday's show.
She's mainly been focusing on creepy cryptids. So she's going to continue working on that. And if anybody wants to come on and, hang out, talk about cryptids, your favorite cryptids, her and Squeakers are always looking for people. So just let her know. Her Squeakers know.
Squeakers does my scheduling, so prefer.
Good luck. She does my scheduling. Love you, Squeaks.
But Matt has more guests than I do.
I got a couple ideas for you. I can send them over to her.
That would work out.
Consultant Pinata? No.
Well,
we
now
got coming
you're
up,
like
Matt?
basically in the studio for every one of my shows now that he's on first shift.
So besides obviously the ParaCrew Podcast, we got Para-Unity Day coming up, which I'm super excited about to meet everybody, hang out.
Oh yeah.
Some of the hunters are braving the elements to come visit Pennsylvania very, very soon. Can't wait for that.
Vacation.
And the other real thing that I have going on, as most of you know, I am a part of the Global Ghost Hunt that Brian John Laverty and a bunch of us are putting on, including Patty from the G team. She's a part of it. PD Region's a part of it. Globally, a bunch of people. There's a bunch of us involved in this. I was talking with Brian Laverty, and I've been named officially the Global Ghost Hunt Consultant. So I'll be helping with locations and running that, but I'm also the consultant side of it as well, basically helping everybody from Brian himself all the way down to the volunteers, making myself available to help out. So I'm pulling double duty, but I'm excited.
Awesome. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Now, for the Global Ghost Hunt, we can go and just check out, like an area in our own area, right?
You can, but I would highly advise against that, hunters.
Okay.
There's a reason for that. Maybe for the October, but for the May, y'all are booked.
We are. We'll talk about it in the future.
Yeah.
We got a while. We'll talk about it in the future. So we do got one more thing, and we'll go ahead and do that right now. So now we're in trouble. And we have some very blunt people on with us tonight. So we do have a new segment of MNSpiritCast called the Spirited Question. And what we do is we pull burning questions from people who search on Google or YouTube or anything every single day. And we ask these burning questions to our guests. So we have a burning question or a spirited question for Matt and one for Mackenzie tonight. So Matt, spirited question for you would be, what is your, how did I word this?
I don't know. I didn't say it.
What is your idea of gun smoking paranormal evidence?
I think the best would probably be the Holy Grail, a full-bodied apparition that manifests from start to finish. Starts off with like a vapor, a fog, turns into an orb, and then a partial and a full body that interacts with a camera, like pretend this is a camera, manifests in front of the camera, moves it, adjusts it a little bit, and then walks away. That is going to be the one. We're still going to get some people who, we always will have our naysayers, but something like that's caught that you can see nobody's around, nobody's involved with, it's raw footage. That's gonna be the one.
Absolutely. Yes. Now, Mackenzie, your question: do you think magic is too widely practiced?
No, not at all. There's still a lot of people who think that it's all Satan worshiping and devil worship.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me sad. That's another reason for my show, is to educate people on that paganism and Wicca and Druidism and all them are not devil worshiping practices. Just because I have a pentagram does not make me a devil worshiper.
Exactly.
I have one on my arm. This is a protection seal. That's why I have it. I got it tattooed, so it's always on me.
Smart idea. Love it. All right, guys. Well, I do appreciate Matt and Mackenzie for coming on this season premiere of MNSpiritCast. Can you guys believe we've been doing this for 3 seasons now? This was a very amazing season premiere episode of MNSpiritCast. Couldn't ask for better guests for the first season or for the first episode. So, Matt and Mackenzie, thank you very much. We definitely look forward to seeing what you guys have in store for the future. Mackenzie, where and when can people watch creepy cryptids?
I do have a YouTube now. And I also... What? Do you want to put in your 2 cents?
I'll give you change.
Go ahead, put in your 2 cents.
Oh, he asked you?
But I also stream on ParaPost, the P3 Entertainment, and of course the ParaCast on Facebook. But it's 7 p.m. Eastern, so that's my time here on the East Coast.
Mondays.
Mondays.
And that is 6 p.m. Central Time and 5 p.m. for 4 p.m. So, all right, guys. Well, Matt and Mackenzie, thank you guys very much for being our guests on this very special 2-hour special Minnesota SpiritCast. And we definitely look forward to bringing you guys back on once again on the show. So, we all hope you guys have a good night, and you guys have been amazing guests. So, thank you for coming on. And
much love, hunters. Much love, hunters.
Okay.
Right back at you. So, and to all my hunters, Cara, Brandon, and Rochelle, thank you guys for being on the show with us and opening up this season. It's going to be a great season and lots of exciting new and returning faces. So, lots of love to my hunters once again.
Look at them returning the love back.
Right. So, next week, you guys can catch Cara and Brandon live with Matt and Mackenzie themselves in person, where we have the ParaCrew Podcast on Minnesota SpiritCast next week. They will be with Matt, Mackenzie, and
Takeover.
Yep. Matt, Mackenzie, Squeakers, and Lurker. They will be live in person in Pennsylvania, and just keep your eyes peeled for everything that they'll be doing. It's going to be a great time, great show, great everything. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And all the other stuff that Minnesota Spirit Hunters has coming up, such as season 2 of our investigation series coming up very soon. So for tonight, my second host, Cara, thank you. Get some sleep because you got to be up early. So we'll see you later. Thank you for being on. Look forward to watching the show next week. So
yeah, I got to be up in 5.5 hours.
Brandon, my co-host, thank you very much for coming on the show, opening up this season with us. Always a pleasure. And to you, Rochelle, for opening up this season with us. You guys have been amazing panel tonight. We'll never get sick of the wormhole. And to all of our amazing viewers, to all of our amazing viewers who sat through the whole 2 hours with us, thank you guys very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to open up this season with you all. So once again, before we close out the show tonight, aw, so sweet.
Get off me, Mario.
All right, before we close out the show tonight, we would like to play the trailer for season 2, episode 1 of our investigation series one more time, and then we will see you guys right back here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That is 7 p.m. Central time. So until then, we'll see you guys later, and happy hunting. Maybe. So we have traveled all the way to Superior, Wisconsin. So a lot more people are trying to come in to me. So set.
They like that lurker box, dude.
Ghost Man! Stop messing with us, please. Fucking
Viewer discretion is advised.